Huge news brewing this Friday morning as the NFL's owners approved the terms of their CBA proposal to the players on Thursday, all with hopes of striking a deal before the new league year. Now the ball is in the players' court. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reports the players and their representatives will consider the owner-approved CBA proposal in a conference call today. The new CBA proposal would provide, among other things, the option to expand to a 17-game regular season, increase the players' share of total revenue to at least 48%, and expand the playoff field to 14 teams starting in 2020. Meantime, the Cowboys have less than a month to get a new deal done for Dak Prescott before free agency begins. And according to our Jane Slater, there's been no movement. Jane added that new head coach Mike McCarthy believes he can make Dak great. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is expected to become a free agent next month, and he told Sirius XM Radio he's excited to be in the position he's in, but won't try to make decisions on impulse. Bridgewater says he'll think things through and go on from there. All right, that'll do it from here in the newsroom in L.A. Let's get it back to the crew in New York for some more Good Morning Football.
Let's start with these Chargers. They announced they mutually agreed to part ways with veteran quarterback Philip Rivers. Rivers spoke to the LA Times yesterday, and he had very realistic expectations about his future. Here's what he said, quote, "I do feel I have some emotional fire and passion still left. I know I have the passion for the game that I think is going to last my lifetime, and I think I have the ability left to go play at a high level." Rivers added, quote, "I can say for certain that if I'm playing, it's a 2-year maximum. Whoever the suitors are, I think that would be their hope as well. Because you never know how it goes. Shoot, if we stink it up after 1 year, I'm probably done. If we play really good, they'll probably want to go again," end quote. Very realistic's the perfect word. He's saying, like, I'm not trying to sign some like big 5-year deal. 2 years, that's what he's saying he feels comfortable with and what he's got left to give. What do you think?
I love
Quickly
that.
on that.
I love
Yeah,
that. I
you
love
do?
that he's honest about it. He says, listen, 2-year deal. It makes sense for them, makes sense for me. After 1 year, if I'm cooking, we'll keep cooking. But if not, we're going to move on.
Let's talk about a few other quarterbacks whose off seasons are up in the air. We've got Pats QB, Tom Brady. He's a free agent in March. Panthers quarterback Cam Newton still waiting for the organization to figure out what they do with him. We're trying to get him healthy as he recovers and rehabs from a foot injury. So if you were a general manager, let's just use those three. And there's more. There's plenty more free agent quarterbacks. Which of those three, Cece, would you choose to have on your team for the next 2 years? The Philip Rivers plan. Philip Rivers, Tom Brady, or Cam Newton?
It's Brady, no question for me. Just because, I mean, there's no really question about his play. It was just the players around him. And I think, you got Rivers, the question with his arm, Cam, the question with his foot. But Tom Brady, I mean, he's as healthy as can be, it seems like. And you put some players around him, he can take you back to the Super Bowl and probably win at 7,
I'm going with Tom Brady. I agree with you,
Really?
CC. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. When you think about what Tom Brady did last year, we were questioning his defense. Defense stepped up. Then we were questioning his offensive players around him. He still made it to the playoffs, and he had a good season. And it wasn't like there were balls that were skipping on the ground. The only criticism I have for Tom Brady is that he didn't want to take any shots, and he was getting rid of that ball a little sooner than expected. If there was any collapse in that pocket, he was getting rid of that ball before the pressure got to him. I think it's age, and it's just, I'm not going to sacrifice my body and take a shot to the chin if there's nobody catching the rock.
One shot, he'll be done.
Yeah.
At this point.
At this age.
Yeah, so I think it is age, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to turn 43
Crazy.
in August.
Yeah.
43. I know Testaverde played late into his mid-40s, and there's been guys, but 43 is so old, and yet I don't think this is even a conversation. I'm going with Tom Brady also. It's just the institutional knowledge of being a champion and what he brings to an organization. If he was to have a fresh start somewhere, he, day one, can look at every young man in that room and say, here's how you become a champion, and here is the standard I'm going to set. And that immediately makes your franchise better. His play on the field, to CeCe's point, was not bad last year. He was throwing to rookie wide receivers and a bunch of guys who were in and out of the lineup and on the practice squad. I think if Tom Brady was to go somewhere new or back to New England, he could still play at that same level. He just needs the help around him.
43. Why, when he turned 40, was this a huge conversation at the table? And now 43, which was absolutely unprecedented territory. No quarterback in the NFL has hit 1,000 yards through the air at that age. No quarterbacks started more than 6 games at that age. Why are we so convinced this is the best idea for 2 years from an age standpoint?
Because if you look at since 40, he's been a Super Bowl champion since then. And
MVP since then.
And MVP since then. And then on top of that, quarterbacks don't get hit like they used to. So
Yeah.
this isn't the game where a 40-year-old is out there getting beat up by 25-year-olds. They're very protected in a new way that the rules and regulations are set up surrounding keeping quarterbacks safe and keeping them healthy. So he can last another few years. Now, if Cam Newton was healthy, I'm answering this question completely different. It's Cam Newton hands down.
Is it?
Yeah,
Really?
no
I would
doubt
still say Brady.
I would say Cam Newton.
I would
in a
take
heartbeat.
Brady right now over a healthy Cam Newton.
I wouldn't. I would take a healthy Cam Newton because
If you're
you look
starting a new era of a team, I want that Brady excellence. I want that Brady on the banners. I want Brady. Cam Newton healthy is a wonderful player. He's not the Tom Brady, set the tone. This is how everyone in the organization is going to aspire to be. I want Brady as my core piece, and then you build around Brady just for the off-the-field stuff and the stuff in the locker room. Cam Newton's a wonderful player.
Brady comes in and immediately sets a standard for your organization.
Yeah.
This is how, like you said, this is how you become a champion. I can show you guys how to do it. Follow me.
Yeah,
You
no
know
doubt
what I
about it.
mean?
Listen, he's a leader. He sets the standard. He has a Jordan effect. He made guys better. Yet and still he couldn't do that with the group of wide receivers he's playing with this year.
What?
For a healthy Cam Newton, excuse me, CC, let me finish my point. For a healthy a healthy Cam Newton would have been able to get out the pocket in some of those balls that he threw away last year.
Do you ever, when you're saying these things, do you ever feel yourself being like, I'm the guy who's talking about the guy that was really good 6 years ago?
Yeah, but that's why I said a healthy Cam Newton.
But why
A
are you
healthy
so
Cam Newton.
convinced that, I just don't know. I feel like 2015 was a long time ago. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
It was
here.
for sure. That's why I prefaced it.
Brady was just in the Super Bowl.
A healthy Cam Newton, with the way that the successful offenses are ran, just think about the quarterbacks that are in the postseason this year. The
Yeah.
quarterbacks that were in the postseason: Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. Oh, and the guy that used his legs more than expected, Patrick Mahomes, who won the Super Bowl. So when pockets break down, like they did a lot for Tom Brady this year, the only option was for him to either be sacked or throw the ball away.
Yeah.
When a healthy Cam Newton is in the pocket and it breaks down, he can tuck and run and be as explosive or as dynamic as any running back. That's why I'm saying if Cam Newton is healthy, yeah, I would take him right now over Tom Brady.
Let me open this up to Cece. You're a Raiders fan. I'm taking a team that is going to a new building, has to sell tickets, wants to sell the thing.
Ooh.
What's a sexier thing on that mantra? And what's a more exciting thing? Tom Brady or Cam Newton as the quarterback of the Raiders?
It's Tom Brady, for sure. And
Residency. Residency.
Residency, 2-year residencies. It's just, but like I said, it just sets the standard. Like, you know, he walks into the building, and this is how you need to win the Super Bowl. He can tell you, walk you all the way through. It's like when I walked into Yankee Stadium and Derek Jeter's there. I'm following everything he's doing. He's won 5 times at the time. You know, I'm following him. And Andy Pettit and Mariano Rivera. Like, you follow these guys. These guys are champions, and you do what they do.
I can't even argue with that.
No, that's pretty good.
I can't even argue with Jeter talk, but I hear what you guys are saying, but there's no concern about the older quarterbacks sitting in the pocket and not being able to move. Like, I'm not going to call these guys dinosaurs or extinct, but it seems like the quarterback that can't move in the pocket is slowly but surely getting phased out of the
I'm just not
NFL.
convinced Cam Newton can move in the pocket right now.
Oh, of
They won't
course.
be able to.
Of course.
So it sort of evens itself out. The money has to come into play at some point. And I know we're talking about your specific teams here, but Cam's a deal at 20, right?
He's
if
a
they can
deal
get
at
that,
20.
Brady's going to command a higher market on that. I loved, Trace, when you were talking about Tom Brady being the guy that can reset things, and you're talking about the standard of these. Isn't he going to have to do that? Is this the same old Patriots in 2020? You lose Gronk. Dante Scarnecchia, a huge piece, the best offensive line coach in NFL history, in my opinion, is done. That's huge. We know Brady likes to not, get hit on the chin like you're talking about. Julian Edelman's not getting any younger. This is a new team. So even if Brady stays there, aren't the Patriots flipping a page anyway?
Yeah, and this is the first time in 9 years they didn't play for an AFC championship game. So you're coming off a wounded Patriots team where they're not the hunted anymore. They're kind of the hunters. And if that, they're ascending or descending downwards in the eyes of many people, that whatever version of the Patriots we saw last year, this isn't the big and mighty Patriots. Like, Ryan Tannehill just came in your building and beat you guys in Foxborough, and you guys whimpered out of the playoffs. So I think with all the players leaving, you mentioned Gronk and Edelman getting older, and then you also add in maybe a Matthew Slater's not there, or Kyle Van Noy's not there, or Devin McCourty's not there. Like, this does feel like a turning of the page, and yet Brady's the most consistent piece. He's been there since 2000, so you almost feel like as long as you have Brady, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
So is Brady's future totally in his hands? Is it up to him completely?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I think he wants a certain amount of respect and money from the Patriots, but I think that the fact that he set this up where they can't franchise tag him and he's going to hit free agency for the first time in his career was on his terms. And I don't think he did that to just kind of leverage and get a couple more $1 million from the Kraft family. I think he wants to see what else is out there and what his family can be provided with.
They set this up, well, he set this up so they can't franchise him, and more importantly, they can't move on without him. Because Brissett was there, he's gone. Garoppolo was there, he's gone. Like, Brady played so well that he put his team in a position where he's like, hey, go ahead and trade these dudes behind me because I'm still the man. And now, what are they going to go with?
Me or Andy Dalton, pick one. Kind of that kind of thing?
Exactly. And I feel like with where Tom Brady is in his career, he has put the ultimate pressure on this organization. It's very similar to Jordan in his last years with the Bulls, where Jordan was like, I'm about to negotiate these one-year deals, man. And I'm going to make, 28 million or 31 million, whatever it was at the time. And everybody was thinking I remember I was as a fan, why is Jordan just doing one-year deals? Because he could. And now the team has to pay him because there was no backup plan to
Do you feel
Jordan.
like the Patriots feel like they have to pay Tom Brady? Doesn't some of this, it's not wholly in Tom Brady's hands if the outcome of this and what happens is predicated on what the Patriots are willing to give him? You think the Patriots are going to break him off 37,
I don't
36?
think, I honestly, I don't know what the Krafts are thinking. I don't know what Belichick's thinking. I know Belichick's got a lot of pride, too, saying, hey, I'm a pretty good coach myself. But I can't imagine that fan base being okay with them saying, well, we just, Brady wanted this, and we're just not willing to pay him that much.
Fair.
I don't know how that would go over in Baltimore.